Incorporate yesterday. Yesterday you practiced just remembering how to write equations, identifying your slope, calculating your initial value. So today what we're going to do is we're going to start comparing two different functions. They might give us tables, graphs, words. And we can compare them by comparing their rates of change and their initial values. By saying one's initial value is higher than the other, or one has a greater initial, or one has a larger increasing rate than the other. Okay? They're going to give you information about one, and then they're going to give you a graph or a table to calculate the other. Whoops, I'm sorry. We're actually going to skip this first one. We're going to skip the train problem. We're going to go all the way to the next page because I think these other ones give you a better practice. Okay, suppose you want to decide which movie streaming service you should join. Company A charges $1.50 per movie with a startup fee of $5. The cost to stream movies from Company B is shown in the table. Part A, compare the initial value and the rates of change. Okay? Company A, they give you all of the information. We just need to write it down so we remember it and create the equation. So Company A, what's the rate of change? 150 over 1. And your initial value is 5. So what does my equation look like? My rate of change is $1.50 and my initial value is 5. What's my equation? Bingo. Y equals 150x plus 5. It's always nice they give us 1. Company B. Company B, we're going to use the chart. First thing we got to find is my rate of change. How am I going to find my rate of change? 2 points. Which 2 points you want to use? 2.8 and 4.12. What's the top say? No, what's the top of your fraction for rate of change? 8 minus 12 over, okay, 8 minus 12, negative 4 over negative 2. A negative divided by a negative, positive. 4 divided by 2 is 2. To find my initial value, which point do you want to use? 2.8 and your slope of 2. So you would write y minus 8 equals 2 times x minus 2. This is what you did yesterday, correct? Then I should distribute y minus 8 equals 2x minus 4. Add 8 to both sides. Y equals 2x plus 4. Okay, now I need to write some comparison sentences. You can write it in one if you want to, but you can even write two separate ones. The first one comparing the rates of change, the second one comparing the initial value. Somebody compare Company A and Company B's rates of change. Levi's still out. Somebody compare the rates of change between Company A and Company B. Micah and Max are still out too. What'd you guys tell me your rate of change was for A? 150. What's your rate of change for B? Compare them. Isaac.
Company B's rate of change is $2 per movie, and Company A's rate of change is $1.50 per movie.
Okay, you haven't compared anything. You just told me what they were.
Company B is 50 cents more than Company A.
Okay, and when you say 50 cents more, what does that mean? Right? 50 cents more per movie. Okay? You want to talk about that per so that they know you're talking about your rate of change. So company B charges 50 cents more per movie. Okay, somebody else compare your initial values between the two companies. Taylor? Very good. Company A charges $1 more to become a member, right? Do you always have to tell me which one is more? You could easily write a sentence like this. Company A charges 50 cents less per movie, but charges $1 more on the initial fee. One sentence, if you see that. Okay? Part B then says, how much more will company B cost than company A if 15 movies are rented in 1 month? How am I going to figure this out? How much more will company B cost than company A if 15 movies are rented in 1 month? What are you going to do to figure this out? With? Very good. Take both companies and replace X with 15 and tell me how much more company B is going to charge you. On your own, plug in 15. Did you guys get 34 and 2750? Yes? Is that my final answer? What do I need to do? I need what? Nope, I don't have to interpret. Levi? Yep. So company B charges more. How much more? $6.50? Is that right? So really your answer is $6.50 more. So they're going to give you all the information for one, and then we need to use our graph or table for the second one. Okay? You and your friends want to go on a canoe trip. River Run Canoes charges an initial fee of $10 plus $10 per hour. The cost for Clearwater Canoes is represented by the graph. Which company has the greater initial value and which company has the greater rate of change? Let's talk company A. Oh no, let's talk River Run Canoes. River Run Canoes. What's their rate of change? Go ahead, Levi. $10 per hour. What's your initial value? 10 also. So what's the equation for that company? Y equals 10 x plus 10. On your own, take what you did yesterday and find me the equation for Clearwater Canoes on your own. We'll go over it together. Find your slope, then find your initial value. I got y equals 2x plus 16. Anybody else? Yes? Couple? Yes? Yes? Okay. Which company has the greater initial value? Clearwater Canoes? Which company has the greater rate of change? River Run Canoes, right? So you pay more to start canoeing with Clearwater, but then you pay more per hour with River Run Canoes. So you would say Clearwater Canoes has greater initial value while River Run Canoes has a greater ROC. I'm fine if you shortcut ROC. Determine the cost for each company if you want to canoe for 4 hours. What do I do here? Plug in 4 for both companies, see what you get. I got 50 and 24. Is that true? So River Run Canoes is 50 and Clearwater Canoes is 24. See the connection with yesterday? You don't know how to write that equation. It's going to be really hard to compare them, agreed? But I also realize they're time consuming. Your homework's only 5 questions. One more. Okay, flip it over. Andrea is researching cell phone plans to determine which one's the least expensive. The cost, y, of each plan is a linear function of the number of months, or x, that she has the plan. The prices for 3 different plans are shown. Do you see that? Cell phone A is here, cell phone B is here, and cell phone C is here. So they give us 3 different plans. Which plan? Oh, Andrea expects to stay on the plan for 18 months and wants to spend the lesser amount. Which plan should she choose? Be sure to have work to prove your answer. How are we going to know which plan is going to have the least cost for 18 months? What are we going to have to do here? Bingo. We're going to have to find the initial value and the rate of change for all of them, which is like, seriously? Okay, but look at plan A. It's done, yes? Plan A's equation is already written for us, so we don't have to worry about that. Plan B. How am I going to find my rate of change here? Okay, you can find 2 points, but remember in a table, don't forget this. You could do the swoops, right? Do you remember that? What's my change from 100 to 145? Plus 45, 145 to 190, 190 to 235. And your months goes up by ones. Which one goes on top? Which is cost. So 45 over 1, or in other words, 45. How do I find my initial value for cell phone plan B? Okay, the only reason we can just pull it out of this chart is because it's 0 months, right? We don't even have to calculate anything. Because the x is 0, that's my y-intercept, aka my initial value. So this one's initial value is 100. X is 0, y is 100. So my equation for cell phone plan B would be y equals 45x plus 100. I'm going to put a box around that because that's going to be part of my work that I'm going to show. Now we got to go to cell phone plan C. Rate of change. How am I going to find my rate of change here? 2 points. Which 2 points you got? Ooh, are you sure 0, 0 is a point? You're positive? I would say there's not a dot there. I wouldn't guarantee it. I wouldn't bank on it. I'd only go where there's dots. 2, 120. 4, 240. Find your slope. Y minus y over x minus x. Y minus y over x minus x. What'd you get? 60? Yes, I absolutely agree with that. Okay, now in this one we do have to plug it in. Which point do you want to plug in? 2, 120 and a slope of 60? What would my equation say?
Y minus 120 equals 60 times x minus 2.
Okay. Then I distribute my 60. Y minus 120 equals 60x minus 120. Okay. Then add 120. What happens? They both cancel out. So your equation is actually y equals 60x. Okay. Are we done? We walk away from this problem? What was the whole point of us doing all that? Okay, how am I going to figure out which one's the best? Okay, go to every single one of them. Aspen, he beat you saying that out loud. I saw your hand go up. Take a minute, plug in 18 for each of them, and figure out what plan A charges, plan B charges, and plan C charges, so we know which one to choose. Plan A, I got 950, B 910, and C 1080. Which plan should you pick? B, plan B. Plan B. These 3 problems are exactly what you're doing today. You have 5 of them. If you got things wrong on yesterday's worksheet, I remind you, you have a project for this chapter. Be coming in and asking me for help to make sure that you can correct those and get the correct answer. Don't forget about your interpret sentences or your comparison sentences today. All right? The rest of the hour is yours. Over problem.